Guys, so I'm joined here by Celine. She's taking me around the city of Reims, showing me important places with regards to for people to move around in the city. At the same time, transportation,
Yes.
sights to see, definitely.
Yes.
We are starting our first sightseeing. It's right behind us. This building right behind me. What is this building?
This is a tribunal, the court of law. It's from the 19th century, but there is something to know. For 1,000 years, it was an hospital. So the cellars are the cellars of the hospital from the Middle Ages. But it's now the court of law. So in Reims we have champagne everywhere. And you can see from the tramways, the streetcars, the front and the back are in the shape of a tulip, the shape of the glass of champagne.
Wow. I'm going to show you now. So Celine, first of all, how do you say Champagne region in French or Français?
Champagne.
Champagne.
Yes.
And what is the capital of Champagne?
Administrative capital is Chalon.
Chalon, okay.
But the capital of Champagne, of the wine, the historical capital is Épernay, because the first champagne houses were founded in Épernay.
Right.
But the economic capital of Champagne is Reims, because most of the big champagne houses are here in Reims.
Right, there's a lot of business happening here.
Yes, most of the business of the region is Champagne now. This cathedral is on the World Heritage List, and it's important for to think it's a Gothic masterpiece, like Paris Cathedral, but also Rouen. But it's also where the King of France were crowned. The King of France were not crowned in Paris, they were crowned here in Reims, because the first of them was baptized here. So the king came back years and years later in memory of this baptism. It's bigger than Paris, and the Cathedral of Paris can be contained inside the Cathedral of Reims.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's not the biggest of France, it's one of the biggest. This cathedral was built in the 13th century.
13th century.
Yeah, from 1211 till 1516, and it was almost destroyed during the First World War, because the city was bombed for 1,051 days during 1914 and 1918.
Wow.
But it was not completely destroyed.
So this is the cathedral we were inside just now. Celine, what I want to ask you is, if some of the students who are watching me right now, what do you have to say about this city?
It's a really peaceful city, you know, if you want to study but also to have fun, you will find everything. You are at the heart of Europe, you know, you are close to Paris, you are close to the international airports. We have a more and more international students coming from Neoma, but also we have the Political Science Institute of Paris, Sciences Po, which is a really famous school all over the world, and we have the international exchange program, so you will see people from all over the world. We have champagne, we know how to party.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know how to have fun.
What is the cheapest way from Paris to come to
Reims?
And then going back?
You have two things. We have the Ouigo, which is a really cheap high-speed train, which is from 10 euros to go from Paris to Reims.
Wow.
You have also buses and of course car sharing, carpooling from Paris to Reims. It's around 1 hour and a half. 2 hours from the heart of Paris to the heart of Reims. So it's not far. For monthly, we estimate from the last study I saw, so it's not from this year, but maybe 2 years ago, 800
euros a month, yeah? Which includes
between the housing and the living cost.
Right. So housing, food, transportation.
Yes, it includes that. Yeah, 800 euros, 1,000 euros. So it's not expensive for France.
Yes.
It's less expensive than Paris, less expensive than big city like Lyon or Montpellier or Rennes,
so
which are
true.
also big student cities.
So we're walking in this local neighborhood in Reims. I'm sure making champagne is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes. For 2018, the first number 5 billion
my
euros. The industry.
So you can imagine the kind of business which is taking place in this city.
You have 200 kilometers of cellars here in Reims, and in total champagne, so in the whole region, we estimate we have 1.5 billion bottles waiting.
For the world,
Yes, but we are
right.
preparing for the years to come, of course.
like literally 100 years from now. I saw
Yes.
some bottles.
Yes,
Oh
some
my
the oldest bottles are from the early 19th century.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You can apply the kind of manpower they require. You can understand the kind of supply chain management they require.
Yes, because for example, the harvest is still done by hand in Champagne.
Yes, yes.
Yes. For the fabrication process, it's a bit more mechanic today, but still done by hand for a lot of parts.
Right. There's a small town called as Epernay, not far from Reims, like 10 minutes by car.
No, 30 minutes by car. It's
30
on the other side of the mountain of Reims. So if you're coming from a place where you have a lot of mountains, you're going to laugh at a mountain.
Right.
It's a big hill.
Right.
Because champagne, it's coming from the Latin word for countryside. But
Right.
the countryside for the Roman, it was a really flat space. So when they saw hill, it became a mountain.
That's true. So that's where the train station is, and you just take a tram. That's what Celine told me.
I think Neoma, it's 15, 20 minutes.
15 minutes,
Yes,
you're gonna
yeah.
reach.
Yeah, from near to Neoma, yes.
Which are the famous supermarkets?
Here you will find Carrefour.
Okay.
You're going to find Monoprix, which is a bit more expensive. You have Leclerc also. You have Cora, Super U now. But most of them, what you can do is you can order online and then go and just pick your groceries.
She was also explaining me that just by walking, you can go around the whole city. You don't
Yes.
need a car or anything. Given that you have more time, of course.
Yes.
So-
Well, you know, it's not such a big city. From the town center to the school, it's something like, if you're a quick walker, 30 minutes, 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes at best.
Right.
So,
Alright guys, so that's all from Reims.
yes, you're going to have to learn to pronounce this name.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
how is it?
France.
France. Okay.
Not bad.
Like France as in France.
A bit like that, yes. People say that French don't speak English because for a long time we had the problem we were learning written English and not speaking English.
Okay.
So people have really a problem with speaking. We always think that we don't speak really well and people are going to mock us for our accent. French people, to answer you in English, you have to introduce yourself in French. You know, bonjour, parlez-vous anglais? Hello, do you speak English? And then the person is going to say yes or no, but just to introduce yourself in French, it's already show that you're making an effort and they're going to
That's
make an
so
effort
true.
for you.
Right.
So that's a good tip if you travel in France, everywhere.
Right,
No,
right.
Just say bonjour, parlez-vous anglais.
Okay.
Good.
Alright then, Celine, thank you so much for
Thank you
taking
very
me around.
much, yeah.
I hope you guys saw this a bit of city from us. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye, thank you.
En français.
Au revoir, à bientôt.
À bientôt, yeah? Alright, bye bye.